Nicky, you're a busy man. Just tell me, is this the way it is? You just come out and say, okay, it's the summer. Let's just give in and just do all the festivals.
Yeah, I thought it'd get easy when I turned 40, but we just done Sweden, then to London, and then up to Scotland, and then across to Northern Ireland, then we drove here. But, if you're still being asked at my age, you've just got to be pretty happy with that.
No, but the great thing about it is when you say you thought it mightn't be as busy or whatever, you did a thing some years back, and it seemed, with all due respect, that Manic Street Preachers possibly might have sort of faded a bit by 93, 94, 95, people, and then back with a bang with a bunch of albums, not just coming back to do the festival circuit and live on the old thing.
No.
It's a bunch of seriously new, we are out there, Manic Street Preacher albums, and the fans have really got behind it because of it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful experience, because when, the records from Your Love Alone to It's Not War actually go down better than, say, staple classics like Motorcycle. And the fact that we haven't got to rely on just being shoved somewhere to play our old albums, it does feel really good.
But that must make you feel great.
It does.
You mightn't have thought that 5 years ago.
Definitely not. Without Your Love Alone and Send Away the Tigers in particular, we were on that precipice where you just, you go around the world playing the Holy Bible or everything. Let's go over and over. So we're grateful. But then we love being in a band so much that the pain, is always worth it.
But there was a thing that I remember talking to you about before, which was this business that Pete Townsend did once, of just tearing his hair out. That's probably why he's bald. Is because of the fact that, you had to reconnect with the fans. Don't just go back to them, but reconnect. Was that the way it was with you? Reconnect, and therefore almost a game plan?
It was, and it's also that vampiric thing when you're in a band, is that without a new lease of life from new fans, you do wither and die. And I think, especially with Your Love Alone, having Nina from the Cardigans, for a lot of people, that was their first experience of Manic Street Preachers. They thought we were a three-piece with a really good-looking blonde singer, which always helps. And the fact that we can cherry-pick stuff, we can do something from the Holy Bible tonight, we can do something from Generation Terrace, and then we can do something from Postcards and Send Away the Tigers. We're like the indie version of the Stones now.
Right, so basically, but don't forget, the Stones these days are their own tribute band, so watch it. You don't want to be that.
We've got 20 years to get to that.
Yeah, but you had so much from the past and so much from now. And when you say the fans really love the stuff from now, the vindication of that is great. But there is something that a lot of fans have grown up, and a lot of fans have found things out about the world, about great authors and about great political things through Manic Street Preacher albums. You really made it important in the early days to make sure that they understood all this. Now, you've got your degree from the university in politics. Adding all that together, are you proud of what you've done with it compared to what some of them have done with it?
I really am, The fact that you get fans coming up to you just saying they've just finished their PhD on R.S. Thomas, a famous Welsh poet.
Exactly,
and they got into that through You Stole the Sun, because I sort of quoted him on that. Stuff like that really gets you in the heart, and I think we always wanted to do what you said, because we thought people can say it a lot better than we can. And I know growing up, when I heard Allen Ginsberg on Combat Rock, that just, the Clash opened my eyes to a totally different universe. Morrissey did with Oscar Wilde. So I just think it's really important that you leave clues to people that enriches their lives far more than we can, And that's where I felt like Lipstick Traces, the Grail Marcus book. That was my Bible growing up when I was 19, 20. And I've just done a forward for the new version for Faber and Faber. And it just feels like, how better can you get than having an email off Graham Marcus saying thanks for the forward?
There's that word, vindication again. It's just so good. It's such a good feeling.
It is.
Okay, let's take a look at what is going to happen next. So there's always new stuff with Manic Street Preachers. It's not just even the most previous albums the last few years. The 70 songs of, what's it called again? Of failure and hatred and love and death and all the rest of it. What's his name? Magnetic Fields has 69 tracks.
Yeah.
So you wanted to go one more with 70. Seriously, that's a working title of what?
I think we just,
a quadruple album?
Yeah, we just want to do something. The poster up on the studio wall at the moment is just got Sandinista, Bitches Brew, The White Album, and Magnetic Fields. And, we just got to push ourselves. I think, the last 3-4 years have been amazing, and we've just squeezed every bit of melody out of us that we possibly can. And listening to the new Horrors record, for instance, which is out next week, I think that's like a bit of a game changer for me. It really has been inspiring that we've just got to really push ourselves and do something different,
Right, yeah. Okay, but
every band has to do it to survive, doesn't they?
But when you talk about the White Album or something like that, could you do something like that and just put in almost warts and all stuff? I don't want to hear Revolution Number 9 ever again. I don't like it. But some of all the little bits and pieces. And then they did it with Abbey Road as well, in some ways, in terms of a song cycle thing.
Yeah, the collage.
Yeah, would you do that kind of thing in terms of there's enough people out there now who would like something like that from Manics?
I think we need to, for ourselves and for our fans. I think they need to have something that's really expansive and And that you just dip into, you know, the way I go back to Sandinista and I play a track that I literally can't remember because I probably only played it twice.
Hold on, Sandinista being a treble album from The Clash
Yeah.
that a lot of people really couldn't go too far with. They thought it was a step too far in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, it would have made a great double.
But there's room
you
now.
know.
Nobody's bringing out the idea
No.
of triple albums or even like a white album.
Well,
So do it.
We live in the age of just the single track, don't we? So, and I think you've got to be incredibly young and sort of pop orientated to buy into that world of selling a song to an advert or a PlayStation game. You know, all the stuff which we've never done. It'd be daft for us to try and chase that, you know, entity of being in a band, really.
But when you think about it, though, a design for life, you could build a few houses with that if you sold it to Audi.
We turned down a lot of money.
Did you? I say you did, actually.
A
Yeah.
lot of money, you know, and generally in adverts we have done, and I'm not even, you know, not super like superior about that. It's just if you grew up reading The Enemy and everything like we did, I mean, you would just be taken apart forever
Absolutely.
doing
Yeah.
stuff like
I don't know
that.
if you'd be taken apart so much anymore.
No, you wouldn't. That's
Yeah.
right. It's totally different now, but we've got that hangover.
I mean, and so many bands, from The Who to The Police to I don't know, like so many just come back and do the Mortgage Tour and all the rest of it, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was really annoyed when Renault just used the phrase "Stay Beautiful," which is one of our early
Yeah.
singles, and I thought, can we sue him for that? But
Yeah.
apparently you can't
No
over
trademark,
words,
no,
which is,
yeah.
I find that really distasteful, really, you know,
Right.
especially as a Renault McGann.
Okay, well, hold on a second. There is something, one last thing about Manic Street Preachers and Nicky yourself. There is a thing that I know you've got into lately, and like I know lots of people do as well, and I want to know how far it's gone, which is that you like to be not Greta Garbo, but alone. You like the idea of what it means to be just one person against the world. I don't know if that goes as far as gardening 24 hours a day or knitting. I don't know where it takes you, but what does it mean? Solitude to you. You want it, you crave it, and you experience it, and then love it when you get it.
I think it really hits you when you get 40, and you just actually remember that really the only real person you get on with in the entire world is yourself. And you know, you formulate in your thoughts, and your brain is like a sieve trying to make sense of the world. And it's kind of safer if you do that internally. Because in the past, when we used to talk about it, as you well know in interviews, you know, you can make huge mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think you just see yourself as a self-filtering system where, you have to it's really hard to make sense of the world when you are grown up. And you have to to be in a rock and roll band, there is a certain element of sustaining the fantasy. You know what I mean? Like today, I have to believe that in the fantasy of rock and roll. And you have to be on your own to convince yourself of certain things. It's just the most essential part the three of us have as band members, you know. It's and then we love each other to bits, and we spend. I mean, I've been in school with Jim since I was 4. I'm now 42. It's like slightly odd. 38 years together, written 600 songs together, probably. You know, it's just beyond scary.
I know, but as I say, the best thing of all is that you have a bunch of recent albums that can not just stand with what went in the past, but can be appreciated for by a new bunch of fans as well,
Yeah.
and the old fans. And that's one of the great things. You haven't just kept going, you've sustained the sort of creative output.
No, and I think it's great that people have gone off us. You know, I went off my favourite bands, and then you go back to them. You know,
Yeah.
Satanic Majesty's Request by the Stones. You don't even listen to it straight away and think that's brilliant, and then you grow to love it. And you know, a lot of fans have wandered back to the fold. You know, and
Yeah.
some disappear forever. But I think that's a really nice thing to see our rack now in the record shops that are left. You know, to see that body of work. You know, that fills us with a lot of pleasure, really.
All right, well, onwards and upwards, Nicky. Good man yourself.
Thanks.
And we look
Cheers,
forward
Dave.
to the 70 songs of, what is it again?
Hatred and Failure.
Hatred and Failure. 70 songs of Hatred and Failure from Manic Street Preachers coming up. Listen, enjoy the gig and enjoy. You're on stage about an hour, are you?
Yeah,
Right,
we are.
okay, take it easy. Good man, Nicky.
Cheers.